what's your perception, or what would you say to somebody considering different options in home care?
What I often, and often I get into situations where families will call me because they haven't started home care and recognize that it's a need, or they don't recognize it's a need, and I recognize that they have burnout, so I have to get families convinced. And they'll say, well, we checked around, and I can get somebody for $8 or $10, and actually I have a situation right now, right on the side. And I said, you know what? You need right now a daughter who she does a lot of exploration, and she's very astute with this. And I said, you really need somebody who has sophisticated skills with people who have dementia. Is one of my things that I really respect about Home Instead.
Did you tell her about our new Alzheimer's training
program? Yes, I did.
Oh, good.
And I said, and that the Home Instead has a special training program, that the Eastside office has a high rate of involvement of their staff, and that I've had my experiences, especially with that one complicated one, and actually most of the ones that I stay involved with are complicated. They don't keep me involved if it's not complicated. Right. But at any rate, I said, you really need to look at level of sophistication. You don't want the caregivers who just come in and, now, dear, that's okay, I'll take care of you. Almost all caregivers are good at the physical care, but it's the communication, the interaction, the getting people stimulated, and
the trust.
Trust, yes. Yeah, so I say, it's really good. Another thing that I really value is having a nurse to work with. I've been a nurse for over 40 years.
And we have 3.
And yes, you have 3. And in the 20 years I've been in care management, I cannot remember having other nurses at the same level that you have in your office. And that, to me, is something that is very valuable. And I think families need to get a little sophisticated with looking at, not just the criteria of the caregivers, but what's the level of supervision and coordination? And are they really going to be there when they say they're going to be there?
And what happens if a problem comes up?
Yes. Who do they call on when a problem comes up? I also rarely encounter an agency where they support and pay their staff to go to a team meeting. And these are very, very important. There were times that I had my own kind of home care agency. I'd oversee care for 24/7, constant care for somebody for years. And I would always have team meetings, and team meetings are the eyes and the ears for me and supervisors and families.
Because communication is
the
key.
And you really have to respect what the caregivers' information can provide you. So I discourage families from using independent, I encourage them to use an agency that, I keep using the word sophisticated, but and very personalized,
like that word, yeah.
Very personal care, individualized. I in my career pride myself in coming up with creative solutions, and there's times where I'll come up with something, and not with Home Instead, but it's like, oh well, that's too off the wall for us. But with Home Instead, everything is doable, or they're willing to give it a try. Plus, the caregivers come up with some really clever things.
Yes, they do.
And that, to me, and having a choice of caregivers to match the situation and the reliability are very important.
So the fact that we have over 320 caregivers for the Eastside office, I think helps.
Yeah. Yes.
But they're not just 320 people, they're 320 caring, compassionate hearts that really want the best for the seniors.
Right, and they have good oversight. I have somebody as a care manager I can call if things aren't going well, and I'll tell you, I rarely call your office because things go well. But
there's always going to be a problem.
Well, there's things that evolve, and I call, and Karen and I, or Andrea and I will do some problem solving together. And then we'll figure out how to implement it at the level of the person who needs the care or the family. Yeah.
Yeah, the client care manager idea was actually developed by my mom.
Yeah.
And so it was about 10 or 12 years ago. My mom was the founder.
Yes,
And when it first came out, people said, why do you need a nurse if you're non-medical home care?
Right.
And as a nurse yourself, I think you can speak to why we need a nurse.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I truly value very much about Home Instead. Yes.